Most of us have had at least one cup of tea in our lives. Maybe it was a calming green tea after a long day, or a strong black tea to kickstart a sleepy morning. But here's something that might surprise you. Both of them actually come from the same plant. Yup, the difference between the earthy calm of green tea and the bold richness of black tea all comes down to how those little leaves are treated after they're picked. So what really separates these two classics? Is green tea actually healthier, or is black tea getting unfairly judged? And how did both end up becoming global icons with such distinct personalities? We're diving into all that and more in What's the Difference Between Green Tea and Black Tea? Right here on History of Simple Things. Imagine two siblings growing up in the same house but turning out completely different. That's green tea and black tea in a nutshell. Both come from Camellia sinensis, but the magic happens after the leaves are picked. When tea leaves are harvested, they're still green and fresh. What happens next determines their fate. Green tea leaves are quickly heated, either steamed or pan-fired, to stop oxidation, the same process that makes a sliced apple turn brown. This keeps the tea light, grassy, and well green. Black tea, on the other hand, takes a different path. The leaves are allowed to oxidize fully, darkening in color and deepening in flavor. It's this oxidation that gives black tea its rich, bold taste and dark color. You could say green tea is the calm, unbothered type, while black tea is the dramatic, full-flavored sibling that thrives on intensity. Let's talk taste, because if you've ever had both, you know they couldn't be more different. Green tea tends to be light, fresh, and slightly grassy, with a touch of sweetness if brewed right. But brew it too long, or with water that's too hot, and you're basically drinking liquid spinach with bitterness levels that could rival your ex. Black tea, on the other hand, hits you with strength. It's malty, robust, sometimes even smoky or fruity depending on where it's from. It's the kind of drink that pairs well with milk, sugar, or biscuits, which is why it became such a staple in Britain and India. If green tea whispers, black tea speaks in bold fonts. One's all about subtlety, the other's about statement. It really depends on your mood, Zen garden or boardroom hustle. All right, now let's get into the big debate. Which one's healthier? Green tea's marketing has been wild over the years. Burns fat, boosts brain power, makes you live forever. And while some of that might be exaggerated, there's truth behind the hype. Green tea is packed with antioxidants, especially one called EGCG, Epigallocatechin gallate. Try saying that 5 times fast. It helps fight cell damage, supports metabolism, and may reduce the risk of heart disease. It also has less caffeine than black tea, making it a gentler choice for those sensitive to stimulants. But black tea isn't just sitting in the corner doing nothing. It's got its own set of antioxidants, theaflavins and theorubigens, which also help with heart health and cholesterol management. Plus, black tea's caffeine content gives you that reliable energy kick without the crash you'd get from coffee. So, in reality, both teas are good for you. It's not a healthier versus unhealthy thing. It's more about what your body prefers. Green tea is the quiet, steady type of energy, while black tea is that confident friend who says, "Let's get stuff done." Let's break down the caffeine question, because this is where a lot of people make their pick. Green tea usually has around 30–50 milligrams of caffeine per cup, while black tea ranges from 50–90 milligrams depending on how it's brewed. That's why black tea feels stronger and gives that wake-up jolt. But caffeine isn't just about staying awake. It also affects how you feel. Green tea has an amino acid called L-theanine, which promotes relaxation without making you drowsy. It smooths out the caffeine buzz and creates that calm focus monks have been chasing for centuries. That's also why matcha, a powdered form of green tea, became so popular with people who meditate or study. Meanwhile, black tea gives a more traditional, alert kind of energy. It's great if you're working, driving, or trying not to fall asleep during an online meeting. In short, green tea says, breathe and focus, while black tea says, get your act together. Green tea has deep roots in East Asia, especially China and Japan. In China, it's been part of daily life for thousands of years, while in Japan, matcha became the centerpiece of tea ceremonies that celebrate calm and mindfulness. Black tea, meanwhile, rose to fame in the West. British traders loved that it could survive long sea voyages, turning it into Britain's favorite drink and sparking global trade. India soon became one of the biggest tea producers, giving us classics like Assam and Darjeeling. Brewing, though, is where the real art lies. Green tea needs gentleness, hot but not boiling water, 75–85 degrees Celsius, and just 1–2 minutes of steeping. Black tea likes it bold, boiling water, 95–100 degrees Celsius, and 3–5 minutes of patience. So while green tea invites peace and reflection, black tea brings energy and strength. Same plant, two worlds, both shaped by culture, heat, and time. So after all this, which one's better? Honestly, there's no clear winner. Green tea and black tea are like two sides of the same leaf. One brings calm, clarity, and subtle flavor. The other brings strength, comfort, and warmth. If you're looking for peace and focus, go green. If you need energy and boldness, go black. It's less about competition and more about mood, because sometimes you need to meditate, and sometimes you need to get things done. In the end, both teas are proof that one plant can create endless experiences. Just like people, shaped not by where we come from, but how we grow. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.